Good afternoon. Welcome. Happy Sunday around the world, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day, to come and join in on what I feel and what my co-hosts here feel is an extremely important topic. Regardless of how we joke, what we say, how we play, we're all affected in our own way, mentally and emotionally, with the things that we see and read and hear on a daily basis on the internet, especially in the gaming community. It is and can be an extremely toxic environment. That's a popular word that gets thrown around a lot. So I reached out to these two guys earlier in the week, given some of the things that have gone on in the community, our cloud gaming community, our Stadia community recently. Both of them were ready. They were both ready. They both jumped at the opportunity to do this. And so I'm very grateful for them for joining up with me here. And I hope you guys will enjoy what we have to talk about today. Please feel free to jump into the chat and talk along with us. And, let's try to make this a really positive thing, okay? So without any other delay, let me go ahead and bring in the first guy. You guys know him well, Ray3473.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome.
Ray, thank you for being here today. We also have with us CloudGamingDad from across the pond.
Hello, gents.
Lee.
Hello, Lee.
Prove you guys like that. You guys are the stars, not me. So great. So guys, thanks. I alluded to it a little bit there, but I appreciate you taking time out of your days. This is a family day. Sundays are, it's rough to get together and do the things that we want to do. But Ray, I know you just had your son's birthday yesterday. From everything online, it looked like it was fantastic, and I'm super jealous of the Japanese steakhouse.
Yeah, it was awesome. He had a wonderful time. We also had my father-in-law, my wife's dad, who's like 83.
Wow,
and looks great. He had a good time as well. So yeah, had an awesome day.
And Lee, I saw you commented on that post, and your son gave a little wave and a shout to you, so that was really cool.
Appreciate that, man. Alf,
he's desperate to get involved in the community side of things, but he's a little bit too young, so he was jumping at the chance to wish Ray's son a happy birthday.
Oh, that's
thank
fantastic.
you for that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, just to kind of touch on it first, we may have some folks that join us a little bit later on, but again, the reason why we wanted to do this is it doesn't get talked about a lot. It gets talked about in chats. People come to others' defense in comments and things of that nature, but I don't know if we actually really sit down and have a conversation about it. And I work in a corporate world. Ray, I know you used to work in a corporate world.
Yes.
Lee, I know you're a business owner, so you probably have a lot of those corporate world tendencies and some of the things that you do. And at the beginning of the year here in the U.S., there were a lot of things that went around in my work about having quality conversations with people, getting to know what's going on the other side of the table. And so I felt like that was a really good title for what we wanted to do here today. And let's just have a quality conversation. I do need to say this before we get going. We are not doctors. Not a single one of us here is a psychiatrist, a doctor. I cannot prescribe you anything. Do not take what I say today as medical advice. Do not interpret anything that way. There are professionals out there that do that, that have the knowledge and the training. We are here so that we can start a conversation. And if you feel like you need help, please seek it with the appropriate parties. Okay. So I definitely wanted to make that clear before we get going. So I guess, there's really nothing else other than to go in here. We will be going through the chat, and I'll be highlighting some of the chats as we go through. If I don't highlight your chat, please don't feel, offended or afraid. We will answer questions. We will, take whatever you put in the chat as topics if we can get into it as well. But we do have a list here that we wanted to kind of go over. So first thing is first, I just kind of wanted to go around between the three of us and just find out, why is this important to you? I want to just ask that simple question. And Ray, I'm going to get started with you.
Well, the reason why this is so important to me because this community is like my second family. I sometimes, and I'll just keep it real, I think I spend more time with the community than I spend with my family. So, and then I also think mental wellness is very important, especially what we're going through right now in the world globally, not just here in the United States. And there's a lot of gamers out there that want to have fun, and I think there's a lot of toxic stuff that's out there. I think there's a lot of bullying going out there. I think there's the people are use gaming as an escape to just to play and have fun. Some people do this as a business. Some people do this as a consumer to check out stuff. There's so many perspectives that everybody has, but I think it's important that everybody, the main thing is respect, which we need to respect players, and we need to respect each other, and we need to respect people that come in the chat and vice versa. So this is why I wanted to be a part of this.
That's awesome. No, and I appreciate you again accepting the invite when I reached out to you. You two, I told you both off camera, were first on my list when I thought about this because of the positive impact that I know you guys each have in our respective community. So Lee, let me ask you that same question. Why is this important to you?
For me, well, it's been quite well documented. I've put it out there because it's just the way I am, and it's the way to deal with it. I've suffered with mental illnesses and mental well-being myself, which started many years ago when I was 18 years old, because I unfortunately lost my father, and I had to deal with that. And then just recently, I lost my mum to COVID, and that was a massive shock with everything else that was going on in the world as well. And it wasn't for these guys in the community with the support and the love, especially Ray. He's been there whenever I wanted to speak to him. He's been an absolute legend, along with many others in the community as well, like Rock and Codex and Lukey and Blake and Andy. They've just been fabulous. And it's just a real, he's with me all the time. And my dad suffered with it as well. So it's very close to heart and very close to home for me. And I always try and pass on what I've experienced and how I dealt with it to other people who are suffering the sort of same situation or similar situations as well. And when I see people in the community who have been affected by different things, aka bullying or just toxic behavior, I try to reach out to those people and I try to help them, give them the best advice that I can. So yeah, it needs to be spoken about. It's a taboo subject, and it needs to be out there.
Good. No, I'm glad that you are at a point now where you can say some of that stuff out loud, right? Sometimes the hardest thing I know for myself or people that I've been around is just being able to speak. You don't feel like you have the platform to speak, or you don't have the courage to speak. You don't have the words to speak, and it's important to be able to get to that point where you can, and then give back to those that maybe can't. And one of the things I hope that this will do today is, if there's anybody out there watching, I don't want to speak for you, but I will speak for you because I know you guys a little bit. My DMs are open. I'm sure yours are too. And if there's anybody out there that needs to have a chat, I would definitely be honored to have that chat and just be a little bit of a springboard or something. I might not be able to give you all the answers, but might be nice to just have a nice conversation. So, okay. The other thing that draws me to you guys as well is that you are dads, and you both have young sons that are gamers. That is the answer for me. When I ask the question why this is important to you, it's important to me because of my son. My son has been bullied. My son has been teased. My son has been lied to. And you guys will say the same thing about your son. So I'm no different, but my son is fantastic. My son is one of the greatest people I know. And to see the hurt and the hate and the negativity that gets thrown at him for doing something that he enjoys, that he uses as an outlet to have fun, it's upsetting. So I appreciate you guys both for being so vocal about your sons, for being supportive of your sons. You know, Ray, you play with your son. Lee, you play with your son.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. And, you know, it's important to kind of be positive role models for the younger generations so that we can erase whatever is going on and whatever's been going on for the past, I'll call it 20 years. Okay. I first noticed a level of toxicity when online gaming started and you could have voice chat.
Yeah.
Because you immediately didn't have a face to put in front of a camera or in front of your eyes. You just had a name, you know, and it was Sniper Boy 26 or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry for Sniper Boy 26. I don't mean to call you out there, but you know, it's the same thing with online, right? You have people that come on with you know, profile pictures that aren't themselves, and they can hide behind things, and you know, they have no consequences for being hateful. And I think that some of our community has experienced that, which we'll get into here a little bit. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's definitely been going on since I started online gaming. And, you know, the three of us are all older guys. We've been gaming for a long time. I mean, you know, when I used to play GoldenEye in my friend's basement on 4-player split screen, it was just my friends joking around, right? Then when that split screen turned into online split screen, the joking around it got escalated to another level because there's no consequence. And I don't know what the answer is for consequence. I mean, you can ban somebody. They can make a new account. You can eliminate their email for sign up. They can make another email. So I don't know the answer to that. But what about you guys? When do you think you first started to notice how bad it truly was? Ray, I'll start with you.
Oh my God. I think I was playing, let's see. I think I was playing Red Dead one time online, and I was playing with some guys, and they said, "Hey man, join our posse." So I joined the posse, and I remember somebody they tied me up, and they said, "Hey, let's lynch this NIGGER," you know, and I was like, "Whoa,
yeah,
what?" You know, and so that kind of turned me off from being online for a while. I think Lee and his wife got me back into playing Red Dead Online, but I was like, holy cow. And then just guys cussing at you. If you're a noob and you're new to a game, they're yelling at you, they're calling you all kinds of names. And even females, just so you know, females get it really bad too. Women gamers get it really bad too. Or somebody that is a different race, you know, they'll say something really nasty. And so that turned me off. What
about you, Lee?
For me, it was way back Xbox 360 days, playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Some of the vile insults, and it was just disgusting. I mean, you give it back, but not as just some of the comments you'd get and some of the messages after matches because they'd been beaten. And you've given them a good spanking. You know, it's just violent. Where people's mentality is at times, it baffles me. It really does. And my son gets it. My son plays what's it called in VR? Rec Room.
Oh God, my son! I had to take him off.
He plays Rec Room in that, and some of the, because he wears the headset and we can hear everything that he's hearing.
Yeah.
And some of the things that we hear that gets spoken to my son from children his own age. You know, stuff about his mum, and I know we do the old mama jokes and stuff, but these are 10-year-old kids, man.
Yeah.
And these kids are throwing mama jokes at each other. And you know, I slept with your mum last night, and Alfie's 10. He's quite naive. He's quite innocent.
Right.
And he takes it to heart. And he's lifted his helmet off, and he's got tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen, especially to kids.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I was going to mention today. I'm glad that you said that you gave it back sometimes too. Folks, I am not perfect. And I'm probably not the best person to lead this conversation, but the reason that I wanted to was because I didn't see anybody else doing it. And I wanted to have it, and I wanted to put it out there, and maybe someone else will pick up off of this and, have a quality conversation part 2 and part 3 and part 4, and we can all continue to have this. But I was somebody in my younger years that would join in with that, and I would give it right back to people when they gave it to me. I played with my wife, so my wife would be there, and Ray, to your point of female gamers getting it. Some of the disgusting and vile things that were said to her, and I'm in the chat. And what am I supposed to do as a husband? I'm supposed to defend her, right?
Right.
That's what our job is, So the only way I could do it in that given moment was with words, and it brings out a level of rage inside of you that you can say some pretty uncharacteristic and awful things. And so I don't want to seem like I'm an angel by any means, because I have definitely given it back. I would say the only difference is I never was the instigator, right? I always was the defender, and not that it makes it any better, but it's tough, man. It's really tough. My daughter, we were playing Among Us on Friday night. I did a stream of Among Us, and some of the people that were in our game, of course, it's all starred out, so you can't see the words, but the things that they were saying to her, I just effed you. I just, I'm going to F you, like this and that. And it's like, this is I'm in the chat. I'm like, this is my daughter. And then, my daughter's like, don't say that, Dad. It's like, you hope that will stop it, but it doesn't. It doesn't at all. So
right.
My daughter's 15, and she's been wanting to stream. I've been very apprehensive, and she wants to stream by her Xbox to Twitch. So she said she can do it, but I have to sit in the chat and watch what's coming up, what people are saying to her.
Well, then even still, what do you do? What do you do in that moment?
I'd shut it down because I'll just take it away.
Well,
I'm not putting her in front of that thing. I'm not,
Well, the problem, my son, his idol is Ninja. He wants to be like Ninja. He wants, Dad, I want to be a streamer. And I'm going to make $1 million. But the thing about my son has ADHD. And so ADHD is, hyper. And he says stuff he don't even think, and just ba 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 ba, and that's the issues I have in school. He's not innocent. I know he says things to start fights, and I know he would say stuff. So what I have to do is I have to teach him, like, look, because I hear him when I hear him playing with kids, I turn off the Xbox and I give him timeout, and I said, get out. I said, I don't want you talking like that. I heard him say, he called somebody an FAG one time, and I said, you don't say that word. Don't ever let me hear you say that word again. But I heard people in school. I don't care where you heard it from. You say that word one more time, I'm throwing this Xbox out the window. Yeah. Get out. And so, I'm a parent, and I got to put that tough love on him, because that's what my dad taught me. And so that's what I have to, I got to let him know, you don't talk like this. You got to be respectful. I'm all about ribbon, but there's a difference between, poking somebody and playing around, and then just saying hateful, racist stuff online. And so that I won't allow in my household. Will not do that.
It's good on you for doing that. And just to kind of segue in right there, Ray, you and I are probably two of the biggest on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 80s and 90s, man. Mama jokes were all the rage.
That's what I know some of my friends, like in the UK or in another country, like, what the hell's wrong with these Americans?
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell is wrong with these Yanks?
Exactly.
Did wonder.
And I know Rock many times, like, what the hell is wrong with you? But that's just, I'm also, I've joked, and I love the prank, and that's what I love to do. Mama jokes was a big thing. Your mama this, your mama that, just joking around. As long as you are being respectful and that person knows you're, it's just playing around.
And you got to know your audience too, right?
Exactly.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. I think you maybe pushed.
I think I went
Yeah.
too far a couple of times. I'm like,
You tried
oh my
to
God,
push on me in the beginning, and I came right back, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this guy can handle it, right? So
yeah. Sometimes
No.
my wife, man, she's like, oh my God, like she walked up and I think I said something about, you know, Anthony's mama's, you know what, you know, between her legs, and my wife was like, ow, hit me, like, how could you say that? And I'm like,
Good
you
for
out
her.
of here. He's talking about, you know, doing what with my mama? What the hell? I gotta go up on him, you know.
Oh man,
Come
yeah,
on,
no,
but-
I just and I worry about it because it can be confusing, right?
Yes.
It can be very confusing because
Yes.
here you have these two guys right here,
Right.
you know, you and me, and we're
Right.
sitting here talking about this is a serious topic and
Right.
how we know people it's affected, you know, obviously you from your story that you just gave, yet we can continue to joke like that online. So it's confusing, and I can understand where that is. And then, you know, somebody else may see it as, oh, this is funny or fun, let me jump in. And then it's like, whoa, no, that's not cool, I don't know you, right? So where's the line? And I've thought about this a lot this week. If you haven't noticed, specifically with you, Ray, you and I have toned down quite a bit recently with the jokes. And it got to the point for me where I was coming on like Cloud Station TV, and the second my name was up there, it was like, oh God, what is he doing here? And it wasn't just you. I mean, it was just kind of like, what's he gonna say? And I kind of had to evaluate myself there and say, you know, I don't want every time I show up for these guys to think that I'm going to say something negative or I'm going to be in a joking mood. I mean, Cloud Station TV is something you guys take very seriously, and you do a great job with it. And I want to be a part of the conversation. I don't want to just be a punchline, right? So I've tried to refrain from joking too much.
Right.
And you know, I'll joke. I mean, I'm a jokey guy. That's just how I am, but I'll keep it not so personal. You know, and I made a joke about, you know, like a game or something like that. But
Right.
and hopefully you've picked up on that. For me personally, this has been a wild ride because I just started streaming back in like February or March. You guys had put a tweet up about the SBCN and needing some streamers, and you know, I was going through an issue with my son where he wanted to stream. Lee, to your point, your kids want to stream, and my son doesn't want to be on camera, but he wants to stream. He's very, very good at video games, guys. He is very good.
I will vouch for that.
And so I want to be able to promote him, and I want to be able to give him a positive platform. And so I was like, you know what? You're afraid to take the plunge into it. So let me do it. I'm a lifelong gamer. And, you know, I think a lot of it had to do with work. With the pandemic going on, we've been doing so many Zoom meetings and so many Microsoft Teams meetings that I'm just so used to being in front of the camera and talking now. So I was like, it's just like being at work, whatever. So, you know, I started doing it, and the first couple were rough because I had to get into a rhythm and go. Now I don't really think about it anymore. I just kind of get on the camera and go. You guys have been a huge help as far as that. But once I did a couple of streams, you know, it was fun, and I kind of got addicted to it a little bit, and not in a I need to do it all the time way, but it's become a hobby for me now. You know, I enjoy getting on here and talking and playing and doing the things I do. But, you know, I wanted to give my son, you know, that ability to get out there and do it. And since he saw me, he's now started to create a TikTok page, and he just puts his gameplay up there. He actually put a video out with his voice the other day, right? But while he was doing all of this, he got into a Minecraft server with some kids that decided that they were going to be funny, and they egged him on for a week, or led him on for a week, and building up all of this stuff. And he was doing, you know, a whole bunch of creation, and he left the server open for them because they were in a different time zone. And while he was sleeping, they went in and destroyed everything. And I mean, he had spent hours on this, and he was heartbroken.
See, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Yeah.
So we started the EBCN, you know, Minecraft stream, and it's been hard to do it every week because, again, it's Sunday night and we've got you know, stuff going on. It's summertime, so we try to get in there, and sometimes it's just been me and him, and nobody comes in. But it's great for me because I enjoy doing it with my son, right? So when you guys talk about your kids and the struggles they go through, I'm right there with you. I get it. And so I feel for you.
I actually gave up my career. So when COVID hit, my wife, she's a nurse. So when that hit, it was all nurse, all medical on deck, so my wife, she had to do her duty and she had to work. My son, his epilepsy went crazy. He was getting seizures like every week. And so and guys, to see a child, anybody's child, go through a seizure, for like 3 minutes, is I wish that on nobody.
You're helpless. You're helpless.
Could imagine.
Yeah. So
what do you do in that situation, Ray?
Don't panic. You make sure that they don't bite their tongue. You make sure that you put them onto their side so they can breathe properly. And you make sure, because they move very vicious. It's vicious. Like they can, if they're on the carpet, they can get rug burns. If they're, we got a marble fireplace. Mm-hmm. Hits his head on the bottom of that fireplace. It's, the showers, the bathroom, I got to watch him, when he goes, he doesn't do showers alone because God forbid if he had a seizure in a shower, that could be fatal. And so the schools was out. So my son's at school. Who's going to be here? There was no daycares were closed. The schools are closed. How's my son going to learn by himself at home? He can't be by himself. So I went to my boss and I said, you know what? My family comes first. And he's like, no, you can't leave. And it's like, yeah, I got to. This is my family. So, luckily got, I'm fortunate enough, got a home and got other things, of income. But thank God my wife, working full time, busting her ass off, helping people with their health issues and stuff. So I'm here at home. I'm you can say I'm a daddy. What do you call it? Home dad. Making sure my boy is okay. And so now they're getting ready to open the schools. But then again, we don't know. And they are giving us independent study. So he could actually not go to school and stay home. Because there's a lot of kids that have not got vaccinated. And so, and it's still, this COVID is worse than the first one we had. And it's spreading like wildfire. And so, my son comes first, and I also have, just so you guys know, I got a 20-year-old daughter, but my son, he's got ADHD, which he's hyper, which he has to take medicine to calm him down. And he has to take medicine to focus so he can learn. It's weird because he's a math at whiz, but everything else he has reading and language and all that, he has issues. So I'm home helping him. Before the gaming, you got to make sure I got to teach him how to do his schoolwork and stuff. So I said, honey, I'm gonna take care of the boy, because her job is more essential than what I was doing. I was a property manager. I was charged of 20 properties. I was hiring, I was firing, I was training, and dealing with my son's epilepsy. And then not just that, but and I'm just keeping it 100. I was scared. I was horrid because my wife is at a hospital where there's COVID patients at. Mm-hmm. And at the time, there was no PPE. They didn't have gloves. They didn't have masks. So they had to make their own stuff. Yeah. And so I'm scared of my wife working. I'm scared of what's going to happen with my son. And so so you want to talk about mental wellness. I said, I can't work, deal with my son, and worry about my wife. So I decided to just take care of my son and be home and get myself, and also make sure my son's okay, and then be home from my wife. So I had to do certain sacrifices, but it was worth it because my family comes first. Always. And I get the game. and that's how I met, my wife, she's kind of like, what you were doing. But I'm
smart.
I'm having so much fun gaming though, and meeting other people. That's why you guys are like my second family. But if it wasn't for this gaming and for the friends that I've met and playing on Stadia and doing all this other stuff, I would go nuts. I'd probably lose my mind. And I will say I did have a mental breakdown in my office where I had to take some time off, and I had decided, and I had to tell my boss, I can't worry about my son, work, and worry about my wife, at a hospital that's got over 100 COVID patients. She comes and tells me somebody had to get their leg amputated because they had diabetes. And so, and they had coronavirus, had to cut his leg off, And
you remember I got COVID, and you and I had a talk when I had COVID, and you were like, I'm thinking about trying to go get my shot. I said, bro, go get that shot.
I did, brother. I'm fully vaccinated. My wife, being a health worker, she's fully vaccinated, and my son is also vaccinated. Good. So we're all vaccinated. But the thing now, and I'm just keeping it,
do it.
I'm really, really scared about this new Delta virus because I can still carry it. I can give it to somebody. And then, guys, my health, you guys only see my head, but I'm not in the best health either. And so
half the time,
that's one thing I'm working on too, is my health. I'm borderline diabetes. So I got to make sure I don't get diabetes. I found out now I have arthritis in my knees. So I sometimes my leg will just go out like that. And so I'm like, oh my God, so I have all these issues with my health, but I'm more focused on my son because I want my son to be able to drive. I want my son to be able to play soccer and football and stuff like that. And I'm just, and I want him to, I'm working with doctors right now. What is his life in the future going to be? And so that's right now is my concern.
Yeah,
but
it's good. Yeah. They're good concerns, Yeah.
Lee,
what is it like right now, over where you are? Do you guys, is this variant popping up and do you have people that are experiencing issues dealing with COVID in general, not just aside from gaming right now?
To be honest, this is to sound really ignorant because everything that's sort of happened with me and my family, I'm fully vaccinated. I've done that, but I've buried my head in the sand. I try my best to avoid any news.
Yep.
I honestly do not know. I honestly do not know what's happening out there.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a tough topic for you, right? And sorry to pick on you with that topic, but I was just, curious because I know just from what you've said, what you've gone through, and I can imagine how tough, that's been. And I imagine that there's, the whole, guys, it didn't just affect, one area, it's affecting the whole world, right? Yeah. And at a time when people should be coming together, we seem to be getting further and further apart. And it's sad. And so I'll go ahead and I'll address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that I'm a part of a show called No Yes Men.
Oh God,
no, that one.
And there's quite a few ways that I'm sure people can feel about me and about the group of guys that I do that show with. It's definitely borderline on this subject, right? There's been a few people that have been spoken about on the show. And I could see where people could be looking at me right now like, why are you even doing this? You're one of those guys, right? No Yes Men was intended as a way of talking about things that are going on in and outside of the community without making up stories, but talking about the things that are actually factual and out in the open, right? We can tend to say things and do things that sometimes we don't even realize. I've said things on streams before and I go back and watch them like, did I really say that? Like, what did I do? But it was to be a little bit edgy and it was to push a few buttons. And I do feel like maybe some of the topics that we have talked about on there, hindsight's 2020, maybe they're not best considering where certain people are in their headspace. Right. I will admit that. I do admit that. I appreciate my co-hosts in Anthony and Jeff. I get to talk to Anthony 7 days a week, pretty much. It's gotten to that level now. where we talk on the phone quite a bit, and we have a chat amongst us because we're all over the place, that I talk to Jeff about 7 days a week too. They're two phenomenal guys. And I know that a lot of people, Ray, you know Anthony a little bit better than most too. You've had a lot of conversation with him. Mm-hmm. He does have a really good side to him. He really does. He really does. And it's a shame that the character that he portrays gets, that's pretty much what people think of him. But hey, it's his own doing, and I'm not his daddy, and I'm not gonna tell him what to do. Right. I joined up on the show because I wanted to do something different. And Anthony and I talked about it for a long time ahead of even coming to terms with using Jeff. At first, we had talked, I think it was Raging Jacob and Alex, and they were going to do the show with us. I think this story has been told a few times, but I was going to be the voice of reason on the show, and I was going to be the good cop to the bad cop and whatever. And then we've done 5 shows now, and in 4 of them I've been the jerk. So it's tough, man. There's so many different groups of people that are out there, right? There's so many people that enjoy different kinds of content, and in doing Game Over, I feel like, I'm doing something good, and I mess up every episode of Game Over. Every episode I have a question that's wrong or an answer that's wrong, or, but I enjoy doing it. I'm doing it all by myself.
I love the show. I think it's great.
You're not a streamer if you don't mess up.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I'm not the gaming whiz. I don't have all the answers. I do rely on the internet quite a bit, and I can tend to mess up there. But I wanted to do something that was a little bit different, a little bit outside of my box. And so when Anthony had this idea, and I've talked with him quite a bit. We've done a few streams together, and I enjoy doing stuff with Anthony. He's kind of the one that got me going. He taught me how to do all of this. You were a big part of that too, Ray. The both of you. And so, I wanted to do that. And
he asked me to join, and I said, hell no.
Mm-hmm. I know that. I know.
Hell no.
And so I'll leave that there. I know that you had kind of wanted to speak to the show or possibly some things that have happened on the show. I'm open to anyone in the chat that wants to grill me or ask me a question about why. I'm totally transparent. I will always be honest about whatever. So I'll kind of let you take it away for a second, because I know that was one of the things you wanted to talk about.
First of all, I think you, Jeff, and Anthony do a pretty good show. It's a very entertaining show. The only thing is, I think sometimes there's like a Band-Aid over a wound. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you guys just lift that Band-Aid and you keep pulling it back off and bring it. I always, when I'm watching this show, I'm like, why are you bringing up this old for it? It's like it's been done. It's been talked about over and over and over again. It's just let's stop, because some people are very private, and some people don't want their names out there talked over and over and over, especially about the past. And so one of you guys' shows, guess what? We gonna bring up some old stuff. We don't care if you don't like it or not, because you put it out there, we're gonna talk about you.
I agree.
And so that's that right there. And I'm just gonna keep it 100.
Do it.
It's toxic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic.
Yes, it's like the whole name change thing that I went through.
It's toxic.
And I literally changed my name, and all of a sudden it's like it just exploded and it snowballed. And for me, it was done and dusted. That was it.
I'm sorry, Lee, go ahead.
And it got brought up again a couple of weeks ago.
I let it be known, folks, when he left the SBCN, when Lee left, not just Lee, but people like Lukey Six, Blake State, a lot of people left. I cried. I was up one night crying. It was very emotional for me, because these are like, I consider them my brothers. Mm-hmm. We was like, it was tough because
you and I had that chat.
Yeah, I cried. I ain't gonna lie. I cried on the. I think talking to Lee, I cried. I spoke to him. I cried. It really emotionally messed me up.
Well, I know the one that really got to you too was Rock, and that's no disrespect to any of the other guys, but you were doing a show with Rock, and so that one really hurt you too.
Yeah, because now you have to pick. Anthony is my friend, but I don't agree, and you guys go back. I love Anthony, but I don't agree on some of the topics and some of the stuff because I didn't come in here. See, this is the thing. I could give an F about the views. You guys can go to my YouTube. I'm under 400. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the money. It was the friendship was number one. The friendship was the most important thing when I came into the Stadia, and just having fun and playing games and promoting people because everybody used to always talk about what Stadia was a sucky platform. Well, guess what? Now we have a group of people that are showing you that you can play multiplayer games and you can have fun and just play games. But then it turned into a circus because now we're sitting here because somebody changed their name. Oh, they're not down with Stadia no more. Oh, you had a company. Oh, they changed their name. Nope, they're not down with Stadia no more. And it just got put out there, and it just got really, really bad. And so, let me tell you something. Everybody's got the right to their opinion.
Sure.
Everybody is a different consumer, and you can't please everybody. Everybody, don't have to like Stadia. You have the right to your opinion. That's why I don't go after people in Twitter. I don't go after because if that's how you feel, fine. And I know how you guys. Well, why are you guys sitting there talking about it? Just shut up. I ignore them. I just play my games. I just let my gaming and my personality do the talking for me. Yeah. I don't have to go. Stadia ain't paying me no money. Google ain't paying me no money to sit here and talk about people. And the thing about it is like if that's people's passion and that's what they want to do, that's what then God. Hey, you do what you got to do.
Right.
But
Sorry, Ray.
No problem, brother. But me, I'm not going that route. And that's why when Anthony asked me, hey, dude, we could use you on the Yes Man show. I'm like, nah, man. Because just the whole title, the reason why there is the Yes Man, because you called another show group a bunch of Yes Men. That's just disrespectful right there. And so you guys are a bunch of Yes Men, but we're not. We're going to bring up stuff and we're going to talk about it. I'm not down with that, man. I just want to play my games, play multiplayer games, and have fun. That's me. Good. If that's other people's thing and that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But be prepared to get the negativity because when you create toxic, it's going to come back at you.
Right.
That's my thing. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Ray was saying about just enjoying the games, I was talking to one of the guys in the community about 20 minutes before I joined this show. And he was telling me that he was ready to quit it, ready to leave because some of the toxicity that he's received. Yeah. And I just says to him, look, the best thing you can do at the moment, step back, take care of number one, which is you, get your headspace right, take care of your family, play the games, enjoy the games. Don't worry about your streaming. Don't worry about the community. They're always going to be there. Just try not to get involved, mute the haters, block the haters, delete the haters. That's the best thing you can do. And the worst thing you can do, because what she was doing was adding fuel to the fire by fighting back. Just don't do it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
A fire needs air to spread. And if you cut that air supply off, it dies.
One more thing I just want to add.
Go ahead.
And I'm just keeping it real. Do we all talk about among ourselves behind the scenes? Hell yeah. And if you say you didn't, you're lying. Everybody talks about whoever this person or whatever behind the scenes. And that's me personally. I think shit should stay behind the scenes.
Yep, definitely.
Behind the scenes. Not out front, pointing, because when you sit there and you point arrows and darts and you start throwing them at a particular person, unless that person comes after you, which people have come after me. And yes, I've went on a stream and I went after people. And then as I'm getting older now and I'm realizing
you're getting ornery.
I got to be above that because I'm 48. I'm damn near 50, man. I'm 50 years old with bad knees. I have to be a role model to other people, to the Eli's, to the Ejimix, to the Cloud Gamers 201. I have to show them, you know what? I can stream and I can put on a show and I can do podcasts and I can be respected. And I don't have to act like a buffoon, and I don't have to talk about people, and I don't have to do that. I don't have to be toxic and bring up people's names.
Speaking of Ejimix, I really hope that he's okay.
I hope so too, man.
I haven't heard from him. He hasn't responded to anything I've written him. He just didn't show up for the show on Thursday, and I really hope that he is okay and that nothing bad has happened to him. I love Ejimix, man. I think he's got a bright, insanely bright future ahead of him. Which is one of the reasons why, I was so happy to have him on the show. And the show is the show, man. The show can kiss my ass. I really just hope that he's okay. And if any of you all have talked to him, please just let him know that I'm thinking about him. I hope he's okay because it's not normal for him to have not shown up.
Gotcha.
He's shown up for everything.
You know who's my favorite idol? And I just want to throw that. And it ain't a he, it's a she. And that's Megatron X. I love her because she's a showsman. Mm-hmm. She does her stream and she does it well. Mm-hmm. And she don't talk, she don't deal with negativity. Yep. She is well loved and well respected. That's who I like to model myself as, just having fun. Yeah, because that's what streaming's all about.
I was going to say the same thing about the guys over. My mind keeps going a blank tonight. I'm telling you.
I know you're talking about Sounds of Stadia. Because
those guys, like apart from Ray as well, I used to watch him right at the very beginning when I was introduced to the community. But Sounds of Stadia was the first lot I came across, and those guys, they come on every Thursday night, and then every Monday they do the podcast and all the other shows that they do. They don't get involved anymore either. They do their stuff. They put their tweets out, and that's it. And they're trucking along. They're doing amazingly.
Yeah.
They don't get involved in any of this nonsense. They keep the heads down and do it. And that's the way I model myself. Like Ray, I just model myself on them. Stay out of any mither. And
it's exactly the reason why I wanted the two of you to do this with me. Right. And I think without reading exactly what I wrote to you guys in chat, I mean, you guys are both just incredible guys. I could sit here and throw a ton of adjectives out to describe how you are and how you go about your business. But your words were meaningful to have here today for me. And I appreciate you guys doing this. The reason I wanted to bring up No Yes Men and the reason I wanted to give you a chance to say that, Ray, is because I know that's how you feel. I don't need you to tell me how that's how you feel. I know that's how you feel. Because I've had other conversations with you and I see some of the comments that you've put into the chat and I can feel it. I really can.
Because I think you're above that. You want me to be honest, Ryzak? I'm going to be honest with you. I think you are awesome. I think the shows and the stuff that you do is great. And I think that's just that petty, excuse my language, that petty shit. I think you're above that. I think you're more than that. And I think you have so much to give to this community, and like I said, if that and that's showbiz. There's shows that do that. There's talk shows. If that's what you want to do, then God bless you. Then you go ahead on and do it. But me, I just think you're just above all that, man. To sit here and talk about a Duncan, and just for the record, Duncan has done a lot for this gaming community, folks. All right. I don't agree. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people that I don't agree with stuff, but I love them. Okay, I love Duncan. He's done a lot for the gaming community. He did the Cloudy Awards. He's done the Cloudy with games. You know, is there certain views that he said about Stadia? Hell no, I don't agree. I battled with him before on podcasts. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But then I just let Stadia keep proving these guys wrong because it's still just moving along. But I'm never going to sit up here and say, you know what, I want to bring him on this show and I want to like, ha ha, you was wrong, or make a buffoon or make fun of him. I wouldn't, you know, it's well, respect.
And I'll say that there's other conversations that have been had on their side that we don't know about. I'm privy to a little bit, but it's not my place to say.
Sure.
And so, you know, but it's that perception, right? It's the perception. Lee, I cut you off. I'm so sorry. I told you I wasn't going to do that.
When these sort of shows are happening, names get brought up. What you've got to be careful of, you don't know what's going on behind the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all come on to these streams, and we always say yes and myself, but we all put on a bit of a show. We're a bit more, 10, 20% more than what we usually are in real life.
Sure.
But in real, you don't know what's going on in that person's life.
I actually have to tone it down. I'm way worse in real life.
Yeah, that one comment that you put in a chat or in a tweet can snap that person.
Yep.
Yeah,
it really could. I mean, I always say to him, I don't know what I'd do if I got a really nasty comment. I really don't know what I'd do because everybody knows I'm sort of, I'm not quite with it at the moment. I'm here or there. I'm waiting for my counselling.
Yeah.
It could be one nasty comment and that could be it. I could pack it all. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you just have to be so careful of what you're putting out there because it goes out on the internet. It's out there forever. And that's what I try to teach my children. You put a shitty tweet out there, future employers or anybody can see it.
Yeah.
So you just got to be so careful the way you treat people. Like we've said it all along, respect. It's all it's about, having respect for yourself and others.
Go ahead.
And I get it. There's a lot of people that say stuff about Stadia that's not true. And there's a lot of people. I got friends that talk about Stadia that have never even put up a Stadia controller. And I know there's a lot of people that want to defend. That's why the Stadia 100 was created so people could get the correct information on Stadia and watching Stadia content. And so that I respect the people that want to put and defend. But when you start going deeper and going into somebody's their psyche and their character and their personality, that's when I can't be down like that unless they just say something horrible about you, then hey, all gloves are off. But there's good. There's debate. Debate is good as long as it's respectful. Yeah. Embrace debate, but be respectful about it.
No, I understand that. I do. I really do. I wanted to bring up No Yes Men because I wanted to highlight it because personally for me, this next thing I'm going to talk about, I feel contributed to it, and I can't sugarcoat it. I can't I can't turn a blind eye to it. Sammy in the Cloud, you guys all know Sammy, and Sammy, I don't know if you're watching, you probably aren't, and that's okay. He put out a letter this week. The guys over, at Cloudy put it out, and he's decided that he wants to step away for a little bit. And I know that we've talked about Duncan quite a bit on our show, and I know that Duncan is a good friend of his. And I feel like that is not the whole reason, but I feel like it has contributed to it. Sammy was on my show. He was on Game Over. He actually won, and he wasn't able to do his second round or the tournament round due to some things that were going on. His business, not anybody else's, not my business to say. And it hit me then a little bit. I'll be honest. My first reaction was, well, come on, man, I want you to do this, right? I was selfish. But very quickly, within a few seconds, it was, well, you got to do what you got to do for your well-being, right? This is just a silly show. It's not important. You have to take care of yourself. And so Eli stepped in for him, did a great job. And when I read his letter the other day, I know that there's more that's going on outside of things that I myself or that we have said. And it just bothers me because I've made it very clear here today that you two are some stand-up guys. Sammy doesn't do anything to anybody. He would not hurt a fly.
Nope.
And I'll tell you a story about when he was on my episode of Game Over. As the credits roll, I always give a special thanks to the SBCN. I always give a special thanks to the 2 contestants that are on there. And then the words "my family" drops in on the credits. And I take everybody off the screen and they sit there behind the scenes because we usually talk afterwards. And when that happened, when my family popped across the screen, it looked to me like Sammy was going to shed a tear because it really struck him that I'm a family guy and that he appreciated that. In that moment, I felt that, right? And so for me to have done something or said something to have caused him pain, even just a little bit, it does bother me. Now, I've made it very clear on the show that I won't take back what I say. I'll apologize for how it may make somebody feel, but I'm not going to take back what I say because I don't feel like that does anything. We say things all the time. You know, words hurt and you can't take them back. You can apologize for the reaction that it may have had on somebody or the impact it may have had on somebody. And so am I sorry for our conversations that we had? No. Do I feel like maybe, you know, there's that kicking a man when he's down and stuff like that? You know, is it borderline there? Absolutely. Some people would disagree and say it's gone over the line, right? But when I saw Sammy's note and I saw his letter, I felt it personally because I felt like I made a connection with Sammy. I know that he is insanely positive. He is always trying to find the good in everything that he does and everybody that's in this community that he plays with. And so I know that there's 2 other guys that, Ray, I'll let you talk about because you know them much better than I do. But I just have nothing but nice things to say about Sammy. And it really, really made me feel like a shitty person when I read his note the other day, because the last thing that I would ever want to do in a stream or in a show is offend him of all people because of what he has shared and done with me. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say on just Sammy, and then Ray, I'll let you take over the rest of it.
I always say reach out to somebody, man. It's what I was trained when I was a manager, a property manager, and I'm training people. If you have an issue with somebody, reach out to them, man. That's what the DMs are for. Hey, this is my DM. Reach out to me. Talk behind the scenes instead of out in the public. Now, I know certain people say, well, I like to get it out there so everybody can see. So, you know, I ain't lying and he ain't lying. We both talking. Some people don't do that, man. Some people ain't you. Different strokes for different folks. I say that all the time. Just because you are a certain way doesn't mean that person's that way. And some people don't want to put it out in the chat. Some people don't want to put it out in the public. You know, the best thing is, you know, I've had some really good personal talks with Lee. That's why I love him. Good brother. You know, I've had personal talks with Chase. I've had personal talks with certain people behind the scenes, with Rock. I love Rock to death. Have me and Rock bump heads? You better believe it. Have me and Rock not agree on certain things? No. But I would never go out on a stream and put somebody on blast. I would never go out and put on Twitter and talk about somebody. I rather, hey man, let's talk behind the scenes, which we did, and we hashed it out. And that's what you have to be. Respect. It's respect, not putting it out for why does it have to be shown? But if that's what you want to do, then that's you. That's your character. I can't tell you, you're a grown man, how to act. But me, how I do things, I don't want to put it out on StreamYard. I don't want to put it out on the chat. You know, come to me like a man and talk to me. Let's talk. and let's hash it out if we have issues and problems. Vet, love Vet. He's a good damn caring man. Vet's a good man. I talked to Vet behind the scenes. Vet ain't, that's why he, we had to do and take some time out, man. He didn't want his business out there over and over and over and over again. And he's got stuff, he's dealing with his health. He's dealing with his family. He's dealing with, what's going on in his life. Like you said, everybody has stuff they're dealing with. And for stuff like this, and then at the end of the day, folks, what are we arguing about? Really? About a game?
Video game.
With a game? When it comes down to is dealing with games. It's like, come on, we got to be a bigger person, somebody got to be the bigger person. And that's all I'm saying. That's why I don't like the Kanye, who's he, Young Ye, I mean, you put out those thumbnails and you try and get everybody to come on in here. Let's talk. I just don't like that. And like I said, I'm not saying I don't like you as the person. That's just something I wouldn't do. And I just don't want to be a part of. That's just not my thing. That's all.
No, absolutely. Guys, again, I'm a different person. I'm different strokes. I'm able to sit here right now and have you guys say what's on your mind and what's on your heart about me personally. I'm built that way. I can handle that. There are a lot of people that cannot. I had to develop very thick skin as a kid, and it's only gotten harder as I've gone along. And I've created my own mechanisms for dealing with things. My ways of doing things, my ways of dealing with things aren't necessarily going to work for other people. But I do try to teach my kids the same, because they're going to go through the same things that I went through, the same things that a lot of people go through. And I don't want anybody else teaching my kids, ways to do things that aren't going to be what's right for them, so we take that, amongst ourselves as parents to be able to do that for our kids. Right. And I also try to be objective to things and understand that I don't always have the right answer. I'm not always correct in everything that I say and everything that I do. And somebody else's way may be the better way to do it. I'm okay with putting my hands up and saying, all right, you know what, I'm wrong, you're right, let's go. It's a part of work, and working with a team. I lead a team of people. I'm expected to be the person that has all the answers and knows what to do every time. And I don't. And I let my team know that, you guys have a better answer. That's what we're going to do. If it makes sense, that's the way we're going to go. And I make sure that they get the praise for that. But I understand where you're coming from, Ray, and I understand what kind of person you are. And I think Lee shares a lot of those same feelings, and he probably, lives by kind of that same code. I know that you said you only had a little bit of time, Lee. I don't know how you are on your time, or whether you got to go or not.
I can give you another 5 minutes or so. You go.
Sweet. Ray, do you want to touch on the other one, or do you want me to move on?
Let's move on, brother.
Okay. That's no problem. They've been in the chat the whole time. They've been kind of talking with the chat there themselves. I will just say that not only are we all different people, but we all have different challenges in life, right? And when somebody deals with a challenge on a daily basis, and that is the cause of the joke, or that is that's the button that you need to push in order to get a rise out of them or make yourself feel better, quite frankly, you're a piece of shit.
Yep.
That's just being frank. And, I feel for anybody that has to go through that. And I wish that I knew more when it happens, so that I could help stand up and be a voice. Cause I don't agree with that. Which is weird, because you could say, hey, well, how come you feel that way with this, but you don't feel that way with that? I see your face.
What? Like I said, man, there's nothing wrong doing a show and talking about stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong. All I'm saying is just think about other people's feelings.
Sure.
It's like I said earlier.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on behind those eyes.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. No, you guys are 100% right. And so I wanted to talk to you guys, man. This is exactly what I wanted you to hear. Let me
go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying, because Lee's got a couple minutes. I want to ask one more question for him.
My dad was one of the strongest men I knew. He was such a proud man. He was 39, and he started to suffer with depression to the point where he attempted to take his own life, and he died because of the complications of that. And it just shows you a man like my father, who was, he was up there. He was such a strong man, such a positive man. And you just have to be so careful with what's going up in there with people. Yeah. And just be kind. That's all you've got to be. There's no need for the nastiness and the negativity. Just be yourself and be kind and be good to people. That's all I ask.
You put it out there on Twitter, and I think one of you said it earlier. This is a very taboo subject, right? This is a difficult subject. And it's probably the reason why we don't see more people talk about it. Because we all interpret it different, and we all deal with it different, and we all go through it differently. I just, when I read that the other day, and, believe me, I'm a human being, right? So I feel things all the time. I tend to read between the lines quite a bit. Usually it's that middle finger pointing right back at me, but, I can tend to read between the lines. And so I know, Ray, that you and I it's not the same as it was a couple weeks ago. I'll put it like that. It's not that you don't like me, and it's not that you don't respect me or anything like that. But the conversations have definitely been a little bit different because it's just not the same, right? And that bothers me. That hurts my feelings, because you are somebody that I would not want to. Almost, I'm going to say it. I don't want to disappoint you. I look at you as a mentor and a role model. I do. Mm-hmm. I do, because you helped me get going with all of this. Anthony helped me get going with all of this. You guys are a great duo amongst the two of you, because you definitely can. Your personalities are different, right? Mm-hmm. You guys put so much time and effort into everybody else. I know Anthony said this on one of his shows one day, and I know you heard it, and I'm going to repeat it. You do everything for everybody. Everybody. You come on everybody's stream. You're positive in everybody's stream. You play with anybody if you have the time to do it. But you may, but I don't feel like you get the same in return. And I know you don't do it for that. I know you don't
do it for the return.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But it's well deserved, man. It's well deserved, and it's something that I know that time zone has a lot to do with it. Like, for example, you stream at 1 a.m. Eastern. I get up at 5 o'clock for work, right. So I'm passed out. But I do watch your replay, and I do give you a like, and I try to support there where I can. You've got Kevin there with you, and you guys do, your Bounty Boys, and you do a lot of good stuff. But then I see you all through the day. It's just on other people's streams, and
but that's my life. That's what people.
I get it.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not here for the numbers. I'm not here for the likes. I love playing with my best friend Kevin. Once upon a time ago, I only had one person in there, so just to have 6 or 10 people, I'm happy with that. Because I'm content with that. I'm excited about the younger people that this is what they want to do. If they want to be a professional streamer, Ariel, I love Ariel, the legend, because he had an issue talking in public. This helped him to talk to people. This helped him, a lot. And so that makes me feel great when I see somebody hit 500, followers and subscribers. I'm happy. That's what I did in my job. When I interviewed somebody, I interviewed them. I said, guess what? I am a district team leader, but you know what? I'm training you because I want you to be a district manager. I want you to be an executive. That's what I train you for. I want you to be better than what I am.
Yeah.
And so that's how I looked at it at my job. That's how I look at it at gaming. I want you to be better than me.
Yep.
I
That
want to
resonates
help.
with me, Ray.
I want to help. You know, when I see, people like, Lee, when I met Lee, I think Lee probably had about 100 people. Look where the hell Lee is at now. And look at his everything he's done, and helping. And that's why it hurt me when people were saying, wow, he's not down with Stadia anymore. What are you talking? This man's done nothing but stream Stadia. He's tried to help people that were hungry in Manchester, England. He's done a lot. So when he was going through his hurt, it hurt me when people were attacking him or making fun, because I know he didn't appreciate that, And so it hurt. It hurt. I felt that hurt. And so I felt really, really bad when a lot of people, was like, man, I'm jumping to SBCN. I don't want to be a part of this. I didn't create the SBCN for me. I created. Well, I didn't. Well, I won't even say I created, because I didn't create it. I'm a part of the SPN because I wanted other Stadia players to have fun and develop in their streams and be better than what I do. And there's Lukey Six and the Blakes and the Eli's and the Derek's and all these guys. Even you, I want you guys to be better than me, because then that's my legacy. When Stadia, when it's 2025 and Stadia is rolling, somebody say, man, I remember this old guy named Ray, man. He gave me some advice to help me stream Stadia and cloud gaming. That's what I look for. It's like, what is my legacy? What did I do for gaming? What did I do for Stadia? What did I do for this community? That's number one for me.
Oh, bloody hell, Ray, you've got to be going here, man.
Stop. Lee, don't you, Lee, I love you, man. I love you. But I mean that from my heart.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I told you.
You're good. You're good. You take a second, because then I got a question for you, and then I'm going to let you go, because I'm sure Emma is like, look, we got to eat this food, or we got to do this thing, and I need you here. Let me go ahead while he's taking a second.
Eddie, I ain't got that long to live, bro. Because my wife, I keep getting, my wife's gonna kill me.
He keeps buying games as well.
She sees that credit card bill where I switched all the damn. I got my Stadia, my Ubisoft, my Shadow. I put that all on my wife's card. She'll find out soon. So yeah, I'm gonna be a dead man. I'm a dead man walking.
You guys both saw the itinerary I had. We didn't touch on probably half of the things that I had on there, and that's okay. I didn't think that we were going to get through.
We can always do a part two.
We can always do a part two.
Honestly, this is what I love, Ryzak. I love positive stuff. I do too. I like and being honest and being true among dear good friends. And Ryzak, I think the reason I have been talking, man, is because I've been focusing on my health and my family. I cut back. And then, guys, just so you know, the number one thing, I just want to put that out there, is more important than gaming is your family and your health. Those are two things you really honestly need to take care of. That is more important than gaming. Take time out for your family. Life is too short, especially in these days and times. Spend time with your family. If you can get out, take care of your health. Make sure you got money and a roof to live. Take care of your finances. All right, guys, at game. Take care of your family, your finances, and your health.
And just throw a pandemic on top of that too, right?
Okay. That's important. Take care of your loved ones. The most important thing. And your friends.
Lee, I know you got to go. I want to ask you one question. Ray, I'll ask you the same question, and then I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. Okay. Anybody that could be watching this right now that may feel down on themselves, that may feel like their voice is not heard, or they don't know how to use their voice, do you have any cloud gaming dad advice that you could give to them?
talk. That's it. Talk. It's took me a while to learn that. And it was Emma and my sister that's taught me that lesson, because I've bottled it up for the last 12 months, and the more you bottle it up, the more it hurts, and it's going to explode one day into something that's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
So talk, and I know I'm going through what I'm going through at the moment, but my door is always open. I have a Discord, and we've got about 50 people in there at the moment, but we have a section in there for mental health and awareness. If you want to go in there and chat, someone will jump in and chat to you. You know, you can DM me, you can DM Ray. I know he'll talk to you, and yourself. Literally just reach out and talk. Someone did today. You know, I'm not going to mention any names but he reached out. We had a chat, and I think he walked away that little bit more positive.
Good.
You just got to talk, because if you bottle it up, like I said, it's going to manifest into something pretty nasty, as I've learned in the past.
Ray, what about you?
For the people that are getting bullied because you're black or white or yellow, purple, because your sexuality, your religion, or whatever, ignore it. You are special. You have life. Enjoy your life, because you only have one life. Have fun. I tell that at in my streams. Life is too short. Have fun. There's a lot of negative people out there. They're the ones with the problems. Yeah. The people with the toxic, it's not you with the problem. It's they have the problems.
That's right.
Be the bigger person. Ignore them and have fun.
Lee, where can everybody find you, Lee?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at CloudGamingDad. That easy. Awesome.
Ray, what about you? Where can we find you at?
Twitter, Ray3473. Streaming tonight. I'm doing an awesome game called The Ascent. I gave it a 10 out of a 10. You'll love it. I'm playing it on xCloud Gaming. Check it out.
Good.
I also forgot to mention, I'm also streaming tonight at 9 p.m. BST.
Ooh,
nice.
What are you playing?
Avengers. I've been doing the playthrough for the past 3 weeks. So tonight I'm going to do an hour of the story. Then I'm going to open it up for multiplayer, because it's free to play this weekend.
We'll be there. I'll be there.
Okay. Have fun.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you guys. Yeah, no, thank you guys. This was awesome, and I might even say I've got a little bit more appreciation for you, even though it was already at 100. So,
Ryzak, man, you make me feel bad. I don't talk to you. I love you, man, but you're too busy talking about my mama.
It's kind of hard when she's always beside me, Ray.
Yeah, I know.
I thought we were turning that down.
Yeah. Well, he brought it up. So
you lasted all of half an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Lee, enjoy the rest of your night. Ray, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys soon. Okay.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks a ton, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Hey. Wow. I think one of the things that I try to do is I try to reflect on things. I might feel a certain way in a moment, and I can get so angry, and then I just try to continue to think. I try to work on my issues on my own, using tools that I've picked up along the way, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I've gone to counseling before for things in my life. Sometimes you need that extra hand to help. But the biggest thing is to realize that if you do need help, get the help that you need. If that's stepping away from streaming, step away from streaming. If it's stepping away from video games, step away from video games. You ultimately, as the person, are the prize. You're the one that needs to be in a good place. And not all of us can get to the same place in the same fashion. I know Ray and Lee both said it. Feel free to reach out to them. If anybody if you know, needs to chat, my DMs are open. They stay open. So feel free to, reach out if you need to. I've already got one message waiting for me, and I can't wait to read it when I'm done. But for those of you that, you don't have things going on or you don't feel it, look out, look to the side. You know, in the military, they always say it's not you should be worried about, it's the person in front of you or behind you, right? Just look out for people, man. Just try to help where you can, and just be there, just be supportive. I could continue to ramble, but I think we'll do this again. This was excellent. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this today, taking a little bit of time out on your Sunday to join us for this quality conversation. I feel like it was a very quality conversation, and I appreciate all of your time. I was paying attention to the chat, and I saw a lot of good things in there. So thanks for the support, guys. And, you know, we'll check you soon. I don't need to plug myself. That's not what this is about for me today. So just enjoy the rest of your days, or not days, but day, and have a good start to the week. And hopefully I'll see you guys real soon. Okay. Take care.